Thanks for joining me today for our daily Devo. I'm looking through the book of Proverbs. Today's the 22nd of February, so I'm looking at the 22nd proverb written by Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, who one time got a blank check from God. God said, "Ask me for anything you want, and I will give it to you." And Solomon, who was already a little bit wise, said, "I would like wisdom to know how to govern these people that I'm about to be in charge of." So God makes Solomon the wisest man who ever lived, and Solomon spent some time writing down some proverbs, some little one or two liners that are little zingers but full of meat to chew on. And today is the 22nd, so let's look at the 22nd proverb, and there's a really weird one in there. It's going to sound strange at first, but I want you to hang in there with me. So Proverbs 22, 24, and 25 says this: "Do not be friends with angry people, or associate or spend time with hot-tempered people, or you will learn to be like them and endanger your soul." So do not be friends with chronically angry people. Don't spend time or associate with hot-tempered people, or you're going to learn to be like them, which endangers your soul. Now, there's two big things we have to look at here. One is anger. Now, Solomon is talking about somebody who has chosen anger as a lifestyle. So in the New Testament, we see that it is possible to be angry without sinning. In fact, that's an instruction in the New Testament. In your anger, do not sin. Another anger instruction in the New Testament is don't let the sun go down on your anger. In other words, before the sun goes down, get to the root of your anger and deal with it. Solomon isn't talking about this righteous or this kind of anger that doesn't lead to sin. He's talking about a person who has just chosen anger and bitterness as their way of life, as their typical, customary response to everything in life. Just an angry person, and we all know people like that. And the anger really isn't the problem. The anger is a symptom of a bigger problem. A person who has chosen to be chronically angry has a deep-rooted issue, and it's causing this anger. And it's usually one of two things. It's usually either an undisciplined lifestyle or an unsurrendered life. When your life is not surrendered to God and when it's not disciplined to the things of God, then your soul spins out of control, and one of the ways that manifests itself in your mind is anger. Everything makes you mad. As Solomon is saying, if you're going to spend your time with chronically angry people, then you're going to be spending time with somebody who is undisciplined and whose life is ultimately not surrendered to God. Because once you surrender your heart and your life to God, God helps you to deal with the root problem of all those things, and anger is not a problem anymore. So anger is a big talk in Solomon's proverb here, but there's another one that maybe we might be tempted or just we just might overlook, is this whole idea that if you associate with this kind of people, two things will happen to you. One, you will learn to be like them, and two, it will endanger your soul. The bigger principle at play here is that the people you associate with, the people you spend significant chunks of time with, have a huge impact on your life. Solomon is saying you're going to learn to be like the people you associate with. So whatever group of people, friends, church people or work people or whoever it is that you spend the most time with relationally, you're going to become like them. You're going to learn to be like them, and it might just endanger your soul. And so Solomon's advice to us is be very careful who you spend quality time with, because ultimately your friendships, your relationships determine the destiny of your life, because you're going to become like the people you spend time with. So what do we do with this little proverb from Solomon on the 22nd day of February? Well, I would say let's examine our own lives. Let's not worry about everybody else. Let's me examine me and you examine you. Are you an unsurrendered and undisciplined person? If you are, I bet anger is a big problem for you. You're just mad at everything, bitter at everything. And that's not a good way to live. It's a way that Solomon says endangers your soul. And so let's not be like that. Let us be people who are fully surrendered. Let's let God handle all the things that make us angry. Let's let God mold and shape our heart into one that looks like and reflects His. And the second thing is, let's be real careful about who we choose to spend time with. Let's evaluate our friendships and make sure our friendships are enriching our soul, not endangering our soul. Solomon was the wisest man who ever lived, and his words can carry some great weight and great practicality for us today. We will take them seriously, and I hope you will.